What's going on, everybody? Jadwin Ford here, and today we're talking about branding for your business using social media. Let's get into it. So let's jump right into it. What is branding? Branding for a small business is a bit different than, large multi-million dollar companies such as Nike or GoPro or Yeti or someone like that. Branding for a small business can be as simple as your name, your business name. It can be as simple as the logo that you have on your sign, the logo that you put on your employees' t-shirts. It can be really anything can be your brand. But what a lot of small business owners don't understand is the consistency necessary to have a successful brand and to use that brand to help drive sales. So, taking some notes and we're going to go through this and I'm going to try to help you understand what the brand is, how you can use it, and what, an actual plan of action of what you need to do. So, first off, let's talk about why a brand is important. Your brand, first off, builds trust. And not trust as in, oh, I trust you not to lie to me, but trust as in, I know what that product is. I trust that I know that that business sells this, these certain things. I know that that business has this, reputation for quality. If you have a really good product, but you don't have a brand, then people won't know that you have a really good product. They won't trust that that is a really good product. Trust actually means whenever you're driving down the road and you see a restaurant that has a really good brand, really good branding, and you see it, and in your mind you think, I know that place is good. I know that place serves good food. That's the level of trust that we're talking about. And a lot of business owners don't understand whenever they're told, well, brand builds trust. Well, it's trust in knowing these certain things about your company. Uh, Branding improves your recognition. So, whenever you create a brand that is effective and people see your logo, they automatically and immediately know exactly what company it is, exactly how good that company is, what they're known for. McDonald's, the Golden Arches. I mean, that is one of the most powerful brands in the world. The Nike swoosh. That is their brand. That's their symbol. You see that and you know it means Nike, but they've spent millions of dollars developing that brand over the last decades, and you don't have time to wait for that. So, how can you quickly build a brand that helps you grow your business? Well, let's kind of develop a plan of what we can do to build your brand. So, first off, you want to use emotion in your brand. If you get your brand to elicit a certain emotional response, people are a lot more likely to remember it. I took a psychology class in college one time, and it told us that a lot of people don't remember an actual situation or an actual memory. They remember how they felt, what emotions they experienced during that time, during that memory. And a lot of times people are reminded of memories based on emotions that they're feeling more often than they're reminded of memories based on seeing something. So creating an emotional response through your brand is a big key to a successful brand. So how do we implement that? I mean, it's good theory, but how do we implement it? Well, if you have a restaurant, create a commercial, a funny commercial with kids doing, the actual cooking and the serving. Doesn't have to be high quality production. It can look like a selfie picture, video. It doesn't, you don't have to spend thousands on it. Get somebody in your local area, Try one of the local churches. They usually have really good media people. Pay them $200, $300 and have them create a little commercial with kids cooking and serving and acting like the whole place is run by kids. And, you can market that as, this is food we would feed our children. You're growing trust because if you'd feed it to your kids, I'll probably bring my kids there to eat. You're creating emotion because people are going to find humor in that. And they're also going to be, people are emotionally attached to children. It's just one of the things. So a lot of people see it as a bad thing to exploit, but if it works, it works. And if you're doing it in a light, fun way, the kids are having fun doing it, everybody's laughing, then why is it a bad thing? So I've kind of come up with an 8-step process. If you're just starting your business, you haven't even come up with a name yet or anything like that, I've come up with an 8-step process I want to give to try to help you understand what it's going to take to build an effective brand. So step number 1 is going to be to create a high quality, well thought out logo. Your logo is everything. It should be on all of your employees' t-shirts. It should be on all of your products. It should be visible no matter where you're looking in your storefront or in your restaurant. Your logo is synonymous with your brand. It represents who you are. It tells people what they're seeing, who they're looking at, and it is by far the most important thing. Even before, I don't want to say before the name, but you should be coming up with the logo while you're coming up with the name. They should work together. They should be created at the same time. So one resource is Fiverr.com. You can go on there for $30 and tell somebody exactly what it is, the business model you're creating, and they will design you a logo. And they're really high quality stuff. I'll link in the description. Fiverr.com. I have no affiliation with them. I've used them. I'm about to use them again to come up with a new logo for this channel. So I'm not just preaching, I'm practicing too. Fiverr.com is a lifesaver if you are not creative on the computer. If you've never done a logo or anything like that, Fiverr.com is the way to go. So step 2, write down your brand's message. The message that you want people to see and hear whenever they see your logo, whenever they come into your restaurant, whenever they come into your store. What is your message? Is it home cooked food? Is it high-end quality clothing that is locally made? Is it, a good haircut at a good price? Whatever your message is, write it out, because this is going to help you define the rest of your brand. And you could even do this before the logo. That might be a good idea. But you want to know what the key message is you want to communicate about your brand. Every employee, from employee U to employee 500, needs to know this message. They need to live it, breathe it, eat it, and drink it when they're at work. So it's got to be, what do you want people to understand and think about your company? That's step 2. Write out your key message, your values, what you want to project to your community. Step 3 is going to be integrating your brand into everything. That's right. Everything needs to have your brand. I'm talking from the cups that you serve food, drinks in, to the scissors you cut hair with, to the towels that you use in your massage therapy. Whatever it is, it needs to be, everything needs to have your logo, your slogan, and your company name. I understand that a lot of people see this as gimmicky because you've been taught to think it's gimmicky. But think about the big companies, Nike. You think there is a single Nike product out there that doesn't have their logo, that doesn't have their branding on it? No, there's not. If you can find one, please comment in below and tell me a Nike product. Now it has to be sold by Nike, not one of their subsidiaries, but find me a Nike product without their brand on it. So like I said, the step 3 is integrate your brand into everything you do. I promise you it will pay off dividends in the long run. Step 4 is to create a voice of your company. Create a voice that reflects your brand. What is it that are you a restaurant? Are you cooking country food? And everything needs to be in a country tone of voice, from what you name your food to what you write on your social media posts. Everything needs to have a country voice to it. If you are, a chiropractor, every piece of your literature to your post, everything needs to have the voice of health, the voice of wellness, the voice of relieving pain, getting rid of those aches that you always have. That there's a certain voice to that. It's a soft tone. You see how I'm talking now? It's not all happy and giddy like this. It's a very soft tone. Everything that you put out there needs to have a certain voice so that you can basically mirror your brand and what people hear and what they see. Written word has a tone of voice. And if you're a massage parlor, a massage spa, you need to have a very soft tone, a very calming tone in all of your posts and all of your pictures and your literature and everything like that. So that's step 4, create a voice. Step 5 is going to be develop a tagline, develop a slogan, something that is short, sweet, to the point, but can really project what it is that you're trying to accomplish with your brand. A brand is a plan of action. A brand itself should be a plan of action. It should be a campaign that you do every day with your business. And your tagline or your slogan should reflect that every day. So next one is step 6, and it's a bit of a big one. But you want to develop a strategy to make sure that your brand is on every piece of everything that you have, from your marketing to your every piece of property that you own, whether it's a cup, a mug, a pen, a computer screen, everything. You need to create a checklist. All right, so what I'm saying is a checklist. So you go through this checklist very often and you make sure, and basically it'll tell you, is the logo on everything in the office? Is the logo on every post that we make? Do we use the tagline at least once a day in our post? Do we, it's a checklist that ensures that every day you are following and staying true to your brand. And it's a self-check. Sooner or later it will become habit. But right now it's not habit. So you need to make it a habit by creating a checklist to ensure that every single day you're doing this. Step 7 is to be true to your brand. So if you're a happy, giddy person, your brand should reflect that to a degree. Now, you don't want to go against your industry. If you're, a spa, you don't want to have this huge in-your-face brand, but you can still be calm, but still be happy. There's a happy calm, but you don't have to be loud and explosive. But if you're a restaurant owner and you have kind of a lower tone, you kind of don't put up with the BS, incorporate that into your brand. Make a restaurant where your employees treat your customers badly on purpose. Make that part of your brand. I know those restaurants explode. People love them whenever your waiters are so rude on purpose, and people just love it. I think it's hilarious. But whatever your personality is, in order to be consistent, which is the next step, it's got to be true to who you are. So your brand's got to be true to who your personality is, or else it just won't work. And brings us to step 8. Be consistent. Always, every day, be true to your brand. Make sure your brand is always there. Your logo is always seen. Your tagline is always said. You answer the phone, thank you for calling so and so, tagline. I mean, everything needs to be consistent every day until it becomes a habit. You're going to have to force yourself at first. I know it's uncomfortable to say these taglines and put your logo on everything. It's not something you're used to. But go back to step 6 and designing a template to making sure that every day you're doing this branding, and you will succeed. Just, you've got to be consistent. So where we live in Louisiana, there are 2,753 businesses in a 40-mile radius of our town. That's a lot of businesses. And if you don't have an effective brand that people recognize and always see, you'll get lost. You'll get lost in the mess, and nobody will know that you're even there. They may see you when they drive by, but they won't remember you unless you have an effective brand. So if you've got questions, if you need help designing a template, send me a message, leave a comment, find me on Facebook, whatever it is that you need to do to get in touch with me, and I will help you design that template. I'll give you feedback on your logo, on your tagline, anything I can do to help. I'm always here. I'm one comment away. And I look forward to the next video, and we'll see you then.